All right, coming in at number 28 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings, it's a right shot defenseman standing 6'3" from the Brandon Wheat Kings. It's Charlie Elick. Man, what a season this kid had.
Ross, right-hand shot defenseman that's 6'3", that plays in arguably the most physical league in the CHL and the WHL with the Brandon Wheat Kings, a place the Ottawa Senators are familiar drafting from. This guy checks a lot of the boxes for me. I'll just get it out there right away so people know I'm a Charlie Elick guy. I think that he is going to be a guy that the Ottawa Senators certainly should target. And I think with 25 or 39, they could certainly have potential to get him. I think he's going to be in that range. In 65 games with the Brandon Wheat Kings, he has 4 goals, 23 assists, 27 points. Now you might be thinking, hey, those points don't really jump off the page at you, and that's fine because he's not about putting up points. He's more about keeping them off the board, which is something the Ottawa Senators need. In 4 playoff games, he had 3 assists, and he was a defenseman with Team Canada in the U18s, and he also had 3 assists, but in 7 games with Team Canada. Ross, what do you like about this player?
I think that what you like is the modern day shutdown style because he's a good skater and he also finds himself in a strong position to be a penalty killer. What I also like, Pilsy, I'm looking at it right now, and Charlie Elick's World Under 18s, it didn't finish perfect. -2 in the final against Team USA. They still got the victory, but in the first 4 games of that tournament, he was +8 and had 3 assists in the 4 games. So
that's what I'm talking about.
He's 8, and I think that I don't want to use the scratching the surface term, but I do think there is a little bit more offense there, right? If he can get some shots off from the point, I think that you're looking at a bit of a development curve for him. He's not going to save the day next year in the NHL, that's for sure. He's coming back to junior, and unfortunately, the way that the competitive balance works in the WHL, the Brandon Wheat Kings are not at a competitive window right now. Not at all. They got smoked in the first round of the playoffs, swept 4 games, and it wasn't good for Charlie Elick. It makes sense. Your best players are going to be out there on the ice a lot, and when you're overmatched like that, it's not usually going to go so well. He's -9 in 4 games during a sweep, and now, albeit a sweep to the Moose Jaw Warriors, who are in the Memorial Cup, right? They got the champs, which means, they finished the last playoff spot. But Charlie Elick, to me, is a kind of guy where he's projectable, but he needs to work on his puck skills. You need to be able to make I think a little bit better of a breakout pass consistently. And if he can do that, I love the in-zone defending. I love the defending off the rush. I even think in the offensive zone, he's good at keeping the play moving. When it comes back to him, he's either going to whip it over to his D partner, get a shot on net. He's making quick decisions. I love all that, but I want everyone on my team to be a puck carrier out of the zone in a pinch. We've seen it with guys like, JBD, not confident skating the puck out of the zone, and it's hindering what his next step in his development's going to be. So if I'm the Senators, I'm having him all summer watch Jake Sanderson skate the puck up with ease every time and kind of have him learn some of those tendencies. But I really do like the prospect as well. The fact that he's a right shot is the cherry on top, but I would like him even if he's a left shot defenseman, just with the style that he plays.
Ross, I'm going to do a positive sandwich with Charlie Elick here. I think that's a good way to go about it here. So starting off with the positive bun on top, or no, I did this last time and you made fun of me. You don't make a sandwich starting with the top bun. Fact. Starting the positive sandwich with the bottom bun. So we can put stuff on top of it. Who needs a plate? Don't waste dishes. Eat over the sink. What I love about Elick's game is he plays a physical game at 6'3". What do you have him here? Not a 194 pounds. You want him to play a physical game. Use that size to your advantage, and he does. Thank you. Check. He's a solid skater, and not a solid skater for his size, just a solid skater in general. You'll love that, especially from a defenseman. He kills penalties, so there's the positive defensively. And Scott Wheeler calls him, and quote, a steady, engaged defender with real defensive upside. Love that. And then Ross, like you mentioned, got to work on the offense a little. Wheeler says a developing offensive game. So that's what you want to see. That's what I want my prospects doing, Ross, especially defensemen. Figure out how to shut down other players defensively. And then once you've mastered that, then let's work on getting some points going here. And now, you mentioned that he's not a guy that can break the puck up the ice here. So here's going to be my negative patty in the positive sandwich here. There is some concerns, some flags with Elick here. He's really not able to move the puck up the ice. He really struggles with that. And that's going to be an issue where you're going to have teams dump the puck in the right corner more often than not, because they know he's going to have to pass it over to his left shot defenseman that can move the puck up out of the ice, or they can put pressure on him and they're going to be able to force him to cause a turnover here. So obviously you don't want that. But Ross, I think if you pair him with a left shot puck moving defenseman, you can figure out a lot of this. And like you said, have him learn from someone that's good at transitioning the puck up the ice, and you can have a lot of success here. Now, for the positive top bun of the sandwich here, I see the offensive upside that Wheeler's talking about. What Elick does really good is taking low risk shots from the point. I love a defenseman that takes low risk shots from the point. Nothing pisses me off more, Ross, than a defenseman that just decides, I'm going to take clap bombs all day. I don't care if they hit the net, hit my teammate in the face, or go wide by 3 feet. I'm just going to keep teeing up these clap bombs and just cross my fingers and hope for the best. What a waste of time that is. Charlie Elick says, no, I'm going to use a low wrister to get through traffic. And there's so many different variables that can happen. A, it just goes clean in. You love that. It's deflected off your teammate or someone else in front. That's great. Or what Charlie Elick does a lot of is he gets that low wrister, pad save, rebound, goal. And being able to do the POP, the pass off the pads, is so clutch for a defenseman, because it keeps, like you mentioned, Ross, it keeps the play going, keep things going in the offensive zone, not just missing the net wide and having it wrap around the boards and you've cleared the puck out of your own offensive zone. You don't want that. So that's where I really see a lot of skill for Elick there, and he can sneak into the play, joining the rush and finding open ice. So there are those little flashes of offense that Wheeler's talking about where you can see that he is working on that and he is progressing that. So for that reason, a guy that's already figured out how to be a shutdown defenseman and is already progressing offensively, there's a lot to like here.
So much to like. On Corey Pronman's list, he's 22 overall. Bob McKenzie has him at 28, Elite Prospects at 24, and Chris Peters at 27. Are the Sens in that range? Well, Scott Wheeler has him at 35, McKean's at 38. Are the Senators in that range? Oh, and then Craig Button, surprising for me, he's lowest on him, down at 58. Again, Button is what they're going to be in 4 or 5 years from now. And maybe he thinks that because there's not as much excitement in his game, maybe that's why he's lower on him. But I really like the player.
Maybe.
I really like the player, even though, maybe there's a lower ceiling, but all of a sudden, if he figures out the offense, I think he could pop as well as soon as this upcoming season. Send stars for Charlie Elick.
Ross, this is one of my highest rated players yet. For Charlie Elick, I've got him at 4.5 stars. I mean,
wow.
This is the type of defenseman the Ottawa Senators are looking for, isn't it? A right shot defenseman with size that plays a shutdown game, that can skate and is improving on offense. You could put this guy beside Sanderson. You could put this guy beside Thomas Chabot. I mean, if you wanted, you could even put him on a bottom pair with Tyler Clevin and have those two just be a shutdown pair. Now, you want one of those guys to be able to break the puck up today, so that wouldn't be ideal. But that's the kind of thing I'm seeing with Charlie Elick here, is that if you need a shutdown physical defenseman, he's your guy. So I would love, Ross, for the Ottawa Senators, again, if they don't select a right-hand shot defenseman with 7th overall, to pick Charlie Elick with number 25. There's no chance he's making it to 39.
And the thing about Elick, too, we got to mention, he's got a mean streak to him as well.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy, he's going to be physical out there. He's going to He's going to let him know when he's out on the ice. Charlie Elick comes in at number 28 on our Locked On Senators NHL Draft Rankings.